Don, thank you for joining us today
Hey.
on the show. Appreciate you. Thanks for being patient in the background there as we set things up. How's it going?
It's good. It's a good green room right here, so I'm doing all right.
That's good. Cool. It's a long day for me. I've been online a little too long here. But tell us about your movie, Director's Cut, and I want to show people the trailer.
Yeah. So I mean, how much to tell? So it started for me from a real place. I was shooting a music video in the woods of Pennsylvania, and it was a low budget video during COVID, and I was in like Pennsylvania. It was area where not too many people venture out to. And I'm in an abandoned facility, and I had an expensive camera, and I thought, if someone breaks in right now and robs us, we are going to be taken for everything. And if I fight back, they'll probably kill us, and no one will ever find us. So in that moment of fear, I started walking around set and thinking about this idea about a mysterious director hitting up these kids for a music video shoot. And that's when I arrived at Director's Cut, which is about a band getting hit up by a director on social media to go shoot a music video. He lures them out to the woods of Pennsylvania, and unfortunately, they don't make it back.
And what did it take to pull this movie together? I mean, there are like a lot of obstacles for an indie filmmaker. The number one obstacle, money. How'd you pull together the budget to make this film?
I won a scratch off lotto ticket 1 week before filming that got me the $1 million. I wish.
No. How'd you really do it though?
You know, I had shot a few short films before, and I worked with a few people in my area that really loved the experience. They got involved with me as producers on the finance side. And I just started really telling people about this film. I also attached this marketing plan to the film, and they really believed in the story. They believed that a horror film could do well. We made the budget really small so that we could try to earn the money back for them. So it took a long time. I'd say it was in development much longer than it was for the shooting and the editing process. So, you know, it's one of those things where you have to be very patient and you have to just keep trying and keep taking meetings.
Yeah. So what does that like? This sounds really crazy, but when I do a panel at like Comic-Cons, where I ask people to ask me for $1 million, and then I say no, and I try to get them to convince me. So no, but it's really confronting. You're in a room, a couple hundred people, you ask me for $1 million, and I say no, you can't. And then get them to continue to ask the question and convince me. How do you talk to a financier, someone who has the money, and what are the things you say to get them to give you the money? And maybe it's like, I have photos of you doing something horrible. That probably doesn't work. But what do you really say to them about investing in your film?
I mean, I learned from a book early on, I forget which one it was, but that people don't invest in films, they invest in people. So I think a lot of the people saw the passion behind the project. Some of them read the script. Some of them liked the presentation deck that I had. Early on, for me, it was really just about telling them about horror films and other horror films that were success stories. There's so many Cinderella stories. So I think comp titles were something that helped me to get people to understand that this could earn money, even if the film doesn't hit the mark and it's not, you know, a Terrifier. It's something that we could, you know, sell to a bunch of markets. And, you know, that kind of story, I think, gave them some security, you know. And above all, I was really meeting with people that had an interest in investing in film. You know, you don't take the meetings with people who just want to dance around the idea, that would never put money behind a film project, that just stay in real estate, just stay in. You want to do a little research on the person you're sitting down with. So that was something that I did before I even sat down with them to ask them. It was the person I was asking more than what I was saying.
Well, that's so interesting you say that. And I also have read a lot of books that are not traditional, that have helped me in business before. One of the things, Sam Raimi, famously, when he was in Michigan raising money for movies, basically focused on dentists. You can find him.
I've heard this.
Yeah, and he focused on dentists because their daily life of their job was kind of boring. So to take like 5-10 grand, put it into a movie, and they could say to their friends, like, hey, I invested in a movie. I'm going to the premiere of the movie I put money in, kind of just added something to their lives. So like appealing to the ego of an investor helps. And like, look how exciting it is to be a part of a film. Although you have to always go with the caveat, you may never get your money back.
Yeah. It's in the risk memo.
Yeah.
You know, another thing I did was I'm here in Westchester County, New York, and I knew that I could film this close to home. So I knew that if I was asking people that were close to the area, they could come to set, you know, they could be a part of the experience. Of course, you know, the red carpet and the after party for all of that is amazing as well. But I think really making it an experiential investment and also letting them know that, like, as an independent filmmaker, we're going to have this film forever. It's a piece of real estate, and it's a seasonal film. It's a holiday film. It's a horror film. So every Halloween, you know, we hope that we're going to get, you know, some action from streamers. So I think it also helped with the genre. Not to say that everyone should go out and try to make a genre horror film first, but it is one of those entry level film things that, you know, another thing I had read somewhere was you want to make a real cheap movie, put 5 kids into a home, make the whole movie in there, and none of them come out. And that's kind of what I did with director's cut, you know?
Well, let's take a look at the trailer. Here we go. You ready? Here we go.
What's your name, guy?
They call me Mr. Director.
Cool. So, Mr. Director, what's next?
I think we're gonna record a music video. There's a director, and he wants to shoot us for free.
That's fucking cool.
Seems too good to be true, but could be the break we need.
There'll be no drama. Let's not ruin your big moment.
Yeah, this is it.
Let's explore. Maybe we should go back upstairs. Did you see that?
You guys are so funny and also good looking.
Well, that was fucking weird.
So, why'd you guys stop playing shows?
None of us want to talk about that.
I'm sorry. Did I say something I shouldn't have?
What's going on?
We're leaving. Let's go.
You did the right thing. No one wants to die at the hand of some lunatic in the middle of nowhere.
I love the energy in the room.
Sweet.
Oh, man.
How, first of all, location is a huge part of a film's budget. I also noticed you had a really good, big budget looking drone shot. I feel that's a requirement, but the location's a big part of it. How'd you secure that location? People forget that. That's part of production value.
Oh yeah. So the original music video I shot was in Shenandoah, Pennsylvania, an abandoned school. And when we were doing the cost to get everybody out there to shoot, it just was too expensive. So my one producer, Anthony Carpenito, lives in the area, and we just put out a mandate. We're like, we got to drive around. We need to find it, ask everyone we know about abandoned facilities. And one day he was just riding on Broadway in Yonkers, and he says, you know, I think I found something. And it was just this one photo he took, and I looked at it. We show up at this location. It ends up being this 100-year-old, 40,000 square foot mansion that they already use for film and video shoots. So we shot during the SAG strike, which was probably the only way we could afford it with them because they wanted numbers we couldn't afford. But we were the only people that had the permission slip from SAG to shoot. So they allowed us to shoot for our budget. So it was kind of a perfect storm of all different events. But, you know, that location is a main character. Absolutely. I wish we could have used more of it because it was so big, but it really gave such a great optic for the film and the drear, and even shooting in there it created an environment for us so that we made sure we were really feeling a little shook up. It was very cold.
We have over 4,000 people watching live. I'd like to go to comments from our audience here. We've got a bunch of comments for you. So let's go through these. Patrick Lemire, never go into the woods without a sidearm. Davina Duckworth, a pencil turkey sounds like the kind of monster that would be in the Pennsylvania woods. Alan, now I know
That's
you're
so easy, huh?
The nerd throwaway. Hail, Mr. Capria. What would you like to do next?
Producer's cut. I've almost finished the sequel, so we're moving right on to the next one.
Is that weird? Because
Wow.
yeah, some 8Ls24. Speaking of a director's cut, was there anything you had to leave on the editing floor to keep the running time at a slick 90 minutes?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. You need that 90 minutes in a horror. You don't want to just keep on, putting in stuff when it doesn't matter to the story, of course.
How many days was the shoot?
We did it in 21 days.
Okay.
Wow. How did you gather up your crew? Says Caveat Ties.
I come from a music video background. So a lot of the New York crew that worked music videos now works in advertisement. Some of the same, my director of photography and I have known each other for 25 years. So a lot of my New York crew.
M. Beaching, will there be a director's cut of director's cut? Sorry, I just. 8Ls24. Was the title something that you had on your mind from the inception of the idea, or was it something that came during the script writing or in post?
During the script writing, I think I came up with that.
Yeah, let's see.
And it was risky.
Khaled says, finally, a trailer that doesn't spoil the whole movie.
Thanks to Noah Marks, my editor. He really was like, we cannot show them everything. Yeah.
Razorburn, question. What was the movie that got you into making horror?
I mean, my favorite horror movie is Halloween. What made me... I'm sorry, guys.
No, I agree. I like... Great choice. Great choice.
I'm a huge John Carpenter fan. I love his pacing. But I think the movie that made me want to shoot horror movies, it might have been because I didn't start shooting till recently. I think it was Eli Roth's Hostel, and reading about him and about the process. And I think that's when I was like, I really want to tackle this. I want to make my own horror movie.
Yeah. And Adelis24 says, this sounds like a sibling to a film called Green Room. Have you seen that picture? And if so, was there anything you wanted to avoid or emulate in your own flick?
I love Green Room. And yes, having a punk band and having them travel somewhere, I think I wanted to get more into the sadistic side about who my killer was and why these kids were being killed, where Green Room seemed more situational and it just happened to them. You could see in the film director's cut, it's a little bit more pre-planned.
And Green Room is very isolated. There you go. And I have a last question. How can people see it?
Well, right now it's available everywhere for VOD. We have a website, directorscutmovie.com, and you could just click right on the watch button for that website, and you can see it on whatever service you use, everything from Sling to Amazon, Apple TV, and the rest.
I found it. I'm going to share it so we can all look at it. Here is the website for the film, directorscutmovie.com. All the links. You can even contact you. There's a store. There's the teaser trailer and everything you need to see the movie. I love this poster, by the way. Look at that. That's great.
An Italian artist that I worked with some projects with in the music business, Nino Camerata, and I like shot him a concept and he knocked it out of the park. I love the poster too.
I'm a big movie poster buff. Like the Film Threat Instagram is just a feed of posters and then what Film Threat is doing. So, which is a lot of fun. So go to directorscutmovie.com, check out the film, get it on all platforms. I gotta say, this has been great. Don, thank you for joining us on the show. And
Thank you for having me.
someone asked it earlier, but I know I was trying to do stuff behind the scenes. Your next project, Producer's Cut.
Correct.
Could
Yep.
you do other cuts?
So I wrote originally, when I started just that script, a trilogy. So it's director's cut, producer's cut, final cut. And then since then, the rough cut, which is Mr. Director's first kill, the first cut, which is Babs, his assistant's first kill, the jump cut, which is them going off on it. So there's a whole little universe that I've mapped out in the background on this. So yeah, it's going to keep happening.
The Cutiverse, as you like. Well, hey, look, Terrifier, when you have a franchise, you got to do it. You got to do it. I love that jump cut, producer's cut.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we're having fun with the cuts.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure. Check out Don's movie Director's Cut and support independent filmmakers.
Thank you.
Take care, Don.